COP29 climate change conference came to an end, and with a super minimal compromise signed at the end, one can state that it was nothing but an absolute failure. Again. So here's my takeaway, and bear with me because I don't think it's all doomsday, but rather a valuable sign. Science has been warning us for decades now that something fishy is going on in our atmosphere.
For years, scientists have theorized about the dangers of the so-called greenhouse effect.
And ever since then, people, propelled by these scientific warnings, started to form political movements. And these movements became bigger and bigger and bigger until they reached the international political arena. The politics on this topic were inherently flawed, with a lot of talking and agreements signed only to be broken, and completely polarized sides of the aisle, moving one direction or the other.
Europe's man on the moon moment.
The result is a climate conference in a country that makes almost its entire living of fossil fuel, the second time in a row, with a lot of criticism to begin with and no real commitment from any side. But more or less at the same time, this happened. The last coal-fired power plant in the UK shut its doors, leaving the UK's coal energy production history behind. The UK, the country that basically invented digging up coal and burning it, where at some point coal made a staggering 70% of its energy mix. And this didn't happen only because of some political agenda that suddenly banned coal power production. Yes, it was part of it, but it mainly happened only because clean energy production became cheaper and better. So what's my takeaway? Well, people have to understand that renewable energy and climate tech is not a triager's fanaticism. It turns out that it's an innovative, more efficient way to solve a giant problem. We can't just rely on politics to solve it all, or on every single person to change his or her behavior. What we need to do is to bring everyone on board and start to convey the message that this transformation is valuable and beneficial for all stakeholders in the game.